So you can probably see on the screen that my name is Margriet Mouton, but you are here to learn more about helping others become the best that they can be. This is presented by the Being Human group, which is based in South Africa. Today with you will be myself, Margriet Mouton, and Jendor Felgate. We are both Gallup Certified Strengths Coaches, and we are the only two trainers in Africa that can train coaches on behalf of Gallup. The Being Human group is a licensed training partner, a Gallup licensed training partner, and we are also part or members of the ICF, which is the International Certification, the International Coaches Federation. The BH group seeks to empower people, positively disrupt workplaces, and change the way that people lead by using the science of strengths, which of course is based in positive psychology. We have trained over 200 coaches in Africa, of which Mustafa, sitting in Egypt today, is one. And the collage that you're seeing on the screen is just a couple of coaches that we have trained over the last 4 or 5 years. I was recently asked this question, and I didn't know what the answer was. And I was quite surprised when I actually learned what the ocean's loudest creature is. So in the chat, please participate. What do you think is the ocean's loudest creature? On the left-hand side, you will see a pistol shrimp. That's what that creature is called, the pistol shrimp. Or do you think it is that looks like a humpback whale? Okay, all right, guess. Okay, so you guys are all saying that it's the blue whale. Well, interestingly enough, the pistol shrimp is actually, and the story is very fascinating. The pistol shrimp is actually very blind as a bat. The pistol shrimp actually partners up with a goby, a fish called the goby fish, which can see very far, right? Goby fish has quite big eyes, and these two have partnered up. So when the goby fish sees that there is danger coming towards them, then he signals to the pistol shrimp, and the pistol shrimp then makes a very loud noise. So the pistol shrimp is actually it's a tiny creature in the ocean. Now, scientists have said that the pistol shrimp's sound that it makes is actually, if measured, the loudest sound in the ocean. Can you believe that? I was quite surprised when I heard that. Now that just showed me and taught me that it showed me a beautiful picture of what we call strengths-based partnerships. One person is, or in this case, a creature. One creature is good at seeing, the other is not. But together, when they work together and use their strengths together, they can not only stay alive, but they can be better together. That's quite fascinating. Okay. So by just typing into the chat a Y for yes if you have children. Just in the chat, just type for, yeah, Renata says she's got children. Yes, right. Okay, it seems almost everyone on this call today have children. Now, I don't have to tell you that each person is unique with a unique set of strengths. If you look at your children, you would be able to tell me that each of them are great at certain things, not so great at others, And each of them have a very unique personality. And of course, Louise would tell you, because she's got grandchildren at the moment, as your children grows up, each one of them also chooses a unique path, become great at certain, at certain scenarios, etc. in their lives. So each person is unique with a unique set of strengths. Now, Gallup has done research, over 40 years worth of research, to look at what excellence look like, and to actually get a measurement tool for excellence and talent. This tool is called the Clifton Strengths Assessment. And the Clifton Strengths Assessment actually shows each of us how we are different but great. It's an invaluable tool to help an individual discover his or her greatest opportunities for strengths and success. Now, I'm going to play a video for you that I want you to listen to carefully. Micah is going to share a couple of concepts with us in this video about Clifton strengths and talents, etc. And after I've played the video, I want to hear what stood out for you when you watched this video. Here we go.
Is Zillion a real number? No, Zillion's not a real number, but it is a word you might be tempted to use to describe all of the talents found in people. Creating a list of every talent is an impossible task. But if you step back, you'll see that talents have commonalities that allow us to group them into themes. Some talents, like a natural ability to share thoughts, create engaging stories, and find the perfect word, relate directly to communication. That's what they have in common, a shared theme based on communication. So to begin thinking and talking about them, we can call them communication talents. Your distinct Clifton Strengths 34 profile sets you apart from everyone else. Your Clifton Strengths 34 profile is your talent DNA in rank order based on your responses to the Clifton Strengths assessment. The Clifton Strengths at the top of your profile are the most powerful. Similar to your fingerprint, these themes represent how you are uniquely talented. There are nearly 34 million possible combinations of top 5 themes. You heard right, nearly 34 million. Start with your top 5. Develop these Clifton strengths to make the most of your profile and maximize your potential. Your greatest chance to succeed at work or anywhere else lies in strengthening what you naturally do best and doing more of it. Try this. First, name it. Carefully read the descriptions of each of your top 5 Clifton Strengths themes and identify parts of the theme descriptions that are undeniably you. Try to describe a recent situation when you used each theme. Next, claim it. Reflect on who you are. Think about your experiences, your motivations, how you see yourself. Then, consider how your strongest Clifton strengths shape you, what you do, how you do it, and why. Share your report with people close to you. Ask for their reaction. Then, aim it. Post your top 5 themes from page 22 of your Clifton Strengths 34 report in a place where you'll see them every day. Start with the suggestions for action in the report. Then, try to find more ways to use your strongest Clifton strengths in your daily activities. Your talents are an instinctive source of wisdom and power. And as you start to intentionally use your most dominant Clifton Strengths themes, you'll find ways to build on your greatest areas of potential. You have dynamic talents, just waiting to be unlocked and developed. Use your report to name, claim, and aim your most dominant Clifton Strengths themes.
Hey, fantastic. Anne, what stood out for you on this video?
Well, I suppose it's like to name it and claim it. You know, like there's got to be an action attached to it to make the penny drop.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's see. Terry, what stood out for you?
Still flabbergasted. 34 million.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the chances that anyone else has the same top 5 as you. I mean, if you look at my background, it's there's no one else who's got these top 5. It's quite amazing, right? Louise, what resonated with you?
The fact that we are truly unique and that we are different, but everybody has got their own set of talents and skills, and we can develop them to be better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the session. Okay.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. All right. Runel, lastly, would you like to share with us what stood out for you?
Sorry, I didn't see the video. I joined on the dot and you'd already shared the video, so sorry.
Okay. All right. No problem. No problem. Okay. So what do strengths coaches then actually do? And how does this assessment called the Clifton Strengths Assessment then fit together with what a strengths coach do? So strengths coaches help individuals, managers, and teams to discover their strengths through the Clifton Strengths Assessment, and then understand and appreciate how their strengths help them to be successful in their role. A strengths coach helps you to move from who you are to what you do, and to invest in your talents to become better at performance and reaching the goals that you have set out for yourself. Okay. So earlier I mentioned that the Clifton Strengths Assessment is a result of a study around performance excellence. This study on performance excellence focuses on the development of your strengths. It says that strengths development will lead to excellence. Now, in the past, we always used to say, you know what, you need to know what your weaknesses are, and you need to focus on improving your weaknesses so that you can become better. This study on performance excellence says no. Focus on your strengths, develop them. That will lead to excellence. Areas of lesser talent, in other words, what we typically would think about as possibly our weaknesses, it's areas of non-talent. They will never develop into areas of strength, never. And thirdly, is we need other people to know our talents and strengths so that we can become the best that is in us. It reminds me of that story of the pistol shrimp and the goby fish, where each of them know what their strengths are, and that just brings out the best in them. I see that we have, okay, fantastic. Just a reminder that, thanks, Yenor, that this is being recorded, and we will forward the recording to you as well. Now, when people focus on using their strengths, in other words, they know what their strengths are, and they've had a coach to help them to understand it, appreciate it, and invest in their strengths, they are 3 times as likely to report having an excellent quality of life. They are also 6 times as likely to be engaged in their jobs. And Gallup has done a lot of research around engagement. So there's 3 types of engagement. You get people who are engaged. Those people love to stand up in the morning, they wake up in the morning, they're excited about what they are doing on a daily basis, they're excited about their jobs, they bring their ideas and innovation and energy to their jobs, and they are extremely motivated. People who are not engaged are actually, you know what, that you could actually say they are the people who sits on YouTube most of the day, Facebook, chat with their friends, etc. And then you get people who are actively disengaged. Those people who go out of their way to sabotage what the company, the organization is doing, and also the change or improvement that managers want to make. So we've seen that people who focus on using their strengths actually improve in performance, well-being, and employee engagement. They are just much more engaged. And in this time where there's a lot of people who are struggling with mental health issues due to the COVID-19 pandemic, improvement in well-being, the understanding of what well-being is, and how each of our strengths can be used to improve and increase our well-being. That's very important in these days. And we have seen more and more companies, teams, and managers reach out to Gallup Strengths coaches for help, coaching, and assistance to improve performance, well-being, and employee engagement. Okay. I'm just going to stop the share there. And in the chat, I want to invite you, is there anything that you, I've said a lot, is there anything that you are wondering about at the moment? Anything that, you know, maybe you've got a question around, you know, engagement or strengths, or, you know, what you learned and heard on the video. I want to give just an opportunity if you've got a burning question before we move on to the next video. Okay. All right.
Hi, good afternoon. I just
Hi,
posted the
Faith.
question. Hi, I posted the
Yes.
question on the group, you know. Yeah, I think because there's quite a number of assessments or reports, whatever, that people have done out there. So if one were to ask the question, what makes this kind of a report stand out from all other reports that people complete, and I mean assessment and reports? So what would be the best response to that?
Yeah, Faith, I think it's a great question. I'm going to invite my my colleague Yenor to weigh in as well. So the Clifton Strengths Assessment is not a personality assessment. This assessment is a developmental tool that focuses purely on your potential and how you can use your strengths to improve in different areas of your life. And that is what makes it different to assessments like DISC, MBTI. I know Hogan is very popular as well, etc. Yenor.
Yeah, Faith, that's a great question. I don't know why I always get the tough ones, but it is material. Building on what Marita is saying, is that the Clifton Strength Finder assessment is what we call a behavioral assessment. It's not a psychometric, which makes it very accessible for people that are not experts in the field to be able to access the report, use the report, and really get benefit from the assessment itself. Secondly, it's a positive psychology approach. You can't fail this assessment, right? You can't fail being who you are. And we think that the recognition and the valuing of who you are, your contribution, or being the best version of yourself is really what differentiates this. The third thing is it is incredibly well researched and valid, both from a scientific point of view, but also a usability point of view. I mean, you can just ask Marita. We came off 2 great client coaching calls today, and they said, wow, I'm surprised. It is like somebody was sitting next to me and taking notes on who I am. What that does is it makes your job as a coach so much easier, because it is, sort of interpersonal, almost relationship DNA, you'll hear somebody in a video say. And what it does is it gives you, the coach, the insight to work very intimately and closely with the person you're coaching. And the final thing I would really point on is it doesn't box you or stereotype you, or, one of our clients said, I don't want to be called a pink flamingo. And what they meant by that is they didn't want a color. They don't want to be called blue and red or this or a flamingo or whatever. And I think the report just brings that uniqueness, the 34 million combination potential around that. And then the final one is when you read your report, it's not cut and paste. So if you are achiever number 1, which I am, my achiever is directly related to how I answered the assessment. If you also an achiever number 1, how you answered the assessment will be different to me, and hence your description of achiever will be unique to you. And for that, and for those reasons, we think it is a very valuable tool. Faith, I don't know if that gives you some answer to your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Terry is putting his hand up.
Oh yeah, a quick one on the performance value chain, right?
Yes.
What I mean is, where would you really place the Clifton? What I mean is, that's the performance level that probably if you are on a job or you're doing some kind of work, where do you really place it? My view is that performance must basically be defined, and from that I would like to link it back to the individual personality. Then the second part, I would like to place it on the level within an organization, if we're talking about that. And I define levels of organization as the board, the executive,
sure.
the operational people. Okay.
Yeah, Terry, great question. I'm actually going to say to you that strengths is quite revolutionary. It's quite sort of a hand grenade in a goldfish bowl around some of this stuff, because what we do is we reverse this. So instead of saying, in traditional HR terms, here's a job, it is at an executive level, here's the accountabilities, right? So what type of strengths do we need for that job? That in the strength world is not really a great way of thinking about it because of the uniqueness factor. What we do is we put that on its head and we say, right, the job requirements, how do we think that this person with these strengths are going to show up in that job, and how can we help them to contribute quite significantly? You can level that contribution depending on how you see your organizational development or structure or approach around that. That's not a problem. But here's the key power question here. Given your unique strength combination, Terry, how can you show up and contribute in this role? We do not put strengths into a recruitment ad, because if Marita and myself are actually going to now apply for an HR manager job, for example, my strengths are unique to me. Her strengths are unique to her. And so the question really is about how can we use those strengths to really be effective in the job. Terry, that's a short answer to what is quite a complicated question. I don't know if that helps.
It did. I'm basically influenced by, let me call a model, which is a contribution campus.
Yeah.
Which is really I don't know if you're exposed to that, but it's really leveled at board level, and which is part of the stuff that I do.
Okay.
That helps basically in appointing the right board member to create a board that is the composition of the board itself should come from different areas in the island. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So Terry, yeah. So this is a very complex question, and I wish I had an hour and a half to engage with you because it's a fascinating area. What we would say is that strength coaches often work in the organizational development space. Margriet was talking about engagement, performance, and well-being. So that should give you some clues. The composition of, say, a board, strength would contribute significantly to that world and insight, because once you had composed the board, how it is going to operate together and gel would be almost a strength-based question. And then the final reassurance I would give to you is that, guys, whilst we are strength-based and we love strengths, we're not a cult. What that means is that all our alumni often use different and multiple methodologies in conjunction with strengths. So if you go strengths, you can add it to other organizational development tools. In actual fact, Terry, you're only limited by your imagination and your creativity with that. So some of our coaches use insights, Enneagram, and strengths. Others use stratified systems thinking and strengths. Some people really want to fixate around performance development rather than performance management, or the motivational stuff around engagement, or the well-being. Literally, with somebody with your experience and depth in OD, I think you can come up with very creative ways of thinking and using strengths. So strengths is what we always would call an integrator, in addition, an additive to the fuel that you already have in your organization, rather than replacing everything and chucking the baby in the bathwater out. But if you'd like, and you're really interested in this conversation, happy to take it offline with you on a one-to-one, and we can speak for an hour and share some experiences there.
I'd love to. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Fantastic. Hudson saying, is the Gallup Strength Assessment classified or recognized by the Hpcsa? The answer is simply, Hudson, first of all, it's a great question. The answer is no, for the simple reason it's a behavioral assessment, not a psychometric. Therefore, you do not need to be a psychometrist to do the assessment, read the report, or provide feedback. In order to provide feedback, obviously, you need to be a Gallup Global Strength Coach, which is what we're talking about today. Hudson, I don't know if that answers your question. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect. So Jenor alluded to the certification by Gallup, the Gallup Strengths Coaches certification. And we've now told you a little bit more about the Clifton Strengths Assessment. But let's hear from people who have actually sat through who were coached by a Gallup Strengths coach. Let's hear how they experienced being coached on their strengths.
So my coach helped me change my total view and approach to life. Instead of trying to be someone I am not, I am really working on developing who I am, and that has been really a life change. So focusing on my strengths, on who I am, I have impacted positively my relationships in life, and also my work and the environment I have with my boss, with my clients, and the people I work with.
What I found was extremely helpful was that she looked at the combinations of my strengths, whereas when I first got my report, I just saw it as a list of individual strengths. But she showed me how these things combine, which I would never have been able to do if I just looked through that on my own. I realized that I'm a maximizer, a ranger, I've got strategic, and I'm very responsible. So it kind of took all those things that were on my subconscious part of me that I was kind of blind to. But she helped bring that to the conscious level and made me realize, I've got those strengths, but let me use them more intentionally now. And that's been tremendous.
When I went through transition at work a couple of years ago, I had a bit of a difficult time because it created a little bit of self-doubt. Now, working my strengths coach really helped me not only understand why that transition had to happen based on who I am and on my strengths, but also how to really leverage my strengths in the new role. So the outcome was incredibly energizing.
I think the value is can't be explained in words, but it's been phenomenal because I would have known a lot, but not known how to use it. So you understand who you are, but using it is a separate thing. And we've come to a point where I understand that I've got to use this stuff. It takes time. So we're actually picking things that we want to do around making me a better person or making me a better me.
Jody's been really great at helping me think through how I can use my talents on a daily basis. She's been really intentional about how I can interact with others and not only understand my strengths, but their strengths as well, and how we can pair them together to make really successful teams.
I think the biggest thing that a strengths coach has provided me is having that person in your corner that knows who you are, that appreciates everything that's unique and special about you. And I think that gives you confidence. It's very empowering. And to have somebody in your corner like that throughout your life is pretty special.
When I was having that discussion with my strengths coach about my strengths, she put things into a structure for me that, you know, this is why you do things, because that's how we naturally inclined to do those things. Earlier I knew who I was as a person, but I couldn't put them into a structure. Seeing this, having a structure built around my strengths, I knew what are things that I'm really good at and why I do in such a way, and how to manage around it as well. So for example, responsibility is number 4 theme for me as a person. I knew I ended up taking too many things on my plate. How to manage them became a challenge because, you know, I was always pushing hard to deliver on them. But with the structure in place, since I realized that responsibility is high for me, I need to learn how to say no to things as well and prioritize things as well. So I made sure every time somebody gives me a task or asks me for a task as well, I think about it. I said, let me get back to you. I go back, think about it, and then I'm able to give them an affirmative answer or negative answer depending upon whether I'm able to deliver on that and give my best shot.
Having a strengths coach has changed the way that I do business and changed the way that I build relationships with people. I can't imagine coming to work every day and not having those tools and that relationship in my back pocket to lean on when I need it.
The application of what I learned from that initial conversation has caused me to be more intentional about my strengths and how I can use them every day to be a better dad than I was before, a better husband than I was before, a better member of my community than I was before. When you provoke that thought about someone, every day it comes back around and it grows and it builds on itself. And I think that's a direct result to the talent of my strengths coach and her ability to really awaken that, I guess, that perspective within me. Impact, if I could sum it up, is relational shorthand. My ability to connect and to see myself with intentionality around my strengths in a much more precise and profound way is decisively different as a result.
Gallup Strengths Coaches help people to focus on what's right with them instead of what's wrong. In the chat, just type 1 or 2 words that stood out for you from this video. Just one or two words. The impact that a strengths coach had on one of these people. Transformational, yes. Yes, Miranda, very intentional. That intentionality, Gallup Strengths Coaches help you to be intentional about what you are doing. Bongiwe, life-changing. Emmanuel, transformation, purpose. Yeah, Samuel, absolutely team player. You know, there's some things that you are great at that other people aren't, and there's some things that I am great at. But when we put our strengths together, we can become a high-performing, strengths-based team. Game changer, realize the true you. Definitely find yourself and become better. And what I love, Louise, is seeing yourself from different angles and perspectives, knowing that you are not just one-dimensional. Hudson, appreciative of yourself. I've seen people starting to cry when they, for the first time, see what they are great at, and they see that on paper. Yes, unique, appreciating and focusing on the strengths. Absolutely. Okay. Right. Yeah, someone in your corner. Terry. Yeah, that's a great point that you're making there. Okay. So what does it actually take to become a Gallup Strengths Coach? The certification process is threefold with an additional step every second year. Firstly, you need to complete your certification course. This course, and I want to just signpost to you, we will send all of this information to you after this presentation. So please don't worry that you're going to miss out on any of the information that I will be sharing with you. So the certification course is a globally recognized course that is accredited by the International Coaching Federation, the Society for Human Resource Management, as well as the Hpcsa, the Human Resource Certification Institute. The course is run over 4 consecutive days from 8:30 to 5 in the afternoon. And in this course, you will learn how to coach individuals, managers, and teams to get an outcome like what you saw on the video. Coach them from being to doing, what their motivations are, working better together, forming strengths-based partnerships, multidimensionality of themes, how to coach a top 5 versus a full 34 report, etc. There are so many things. The second step is then to pass your exam. And this exam, in this exam, you need 85% to pass. But don't worry, during the course, we also signpost and help you just with how to pass the exam. Then you need to submit 6 coaching evaluations that will be submitted directly to Gallup, who will then evaluate you. Excuse me, who will then evaluate you. And once that is in and you've passed that, then you are a Gallup Global Strengths Coach. Then you need to recertify every 2 years or every 2 years. Please excuse me. Every 2 years, and this recertification is included in your costs as well. So what is included? Well, apart from your exam, the evaluations, and your course, you also get 4 digital toolkits. These digital toolkits have over 30 different tools that you can use within the strengths-based world. There's 12 learning in action modules that is in addition to your the course that you attend, the Gallup certification course. You know, one thing that I love about what Gallup does for the Gallups, for their certified coaches, is the continuous professional development. Every year, Gallup brings a learning series to us that is ICF accredited. In other words, you get CCE credits for attending this week-long series. They bring the senior consultants, senior workplace consultants to bring us the latest research on how Clifton strengths can be applied to different topics. last year, it was all about Clifton strengths and managers. How do you actually coach managers and help them to manage more intentionally and better? This year, it was all about well-being. How can we help our clients, teams, organizations to improve well-being through the use of their Clifton strengths results? Every year, you also get 350 discounted assessment codes. The idea is to sell those codes to your clients at retail price. You purchase them at a discount. You are then able to put back into your pocket $3,500 or in South African rand, 61,000 rand back into your pocket as a return on your investment. That is every year, 350 discounted codes. You will also receive a lifetime support from Gallup's global coaching community. This community will support you, they will celebrate you, and they will even share their resources with you if you need it. Globally, that will be Gallup. Locally, it's the Being Human group, Gallup's licensed training partner. What we also do, that's the Being Human group, is we offer 4 masterclasses per year where we get Clifton strengths experts from not only from Gallup, but from around the world to share with us stories of success and helping coaches become successful. We were also fortunate then to win the award for building a coaching community from Gallup this year. Once you register to become a Gallup Global Strengths Coach, we will post you or courier a box of goodies to you. We call that, it's basically Christmas. Christmas, we always said Christmas Tuesday, we were still face to face because on a Tuesday we would unpack this box. Included is your theme insight cards for coaches, theme similarities and differences, the Gallup Global Strengths Coach Companion Guide, which is the only guide or the certification course is the only place where you are able to get this companion guide. The Insights for Coaching Managers booklets is an amazing booklet that gives you insights into helping your managers to lead with their Clifton strengths, motivating each of their employees and team members to become better. There's also team activities and yeah, what can I say? Plenty more. This is in addition to the 4 digital kits that you will get. I'm just going to stop the share here. I see that there's quite a number of questions in the chat, and thank you, Yenor, for manning the chat for us.
All answered, done and dusted.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I also just want to signpost to you, if you have any other questions, and if you want to see what the digital kits look like, you are welcome to connect with us on a one-to-one basis for a free demonstration. And the details will be in the email that will be sent afterwards. Okay, right. Okay, so the $1 million question, what is the cost of this certification? Right, so the full certification, which includes everything that I mentioned, into perpetuity, in other words, you've got a lifetime access to this, is 56,000 excluding VAT. 56,000 Rand excluding VAT. Gallup has subsidized this cost to people living in Africa, as the normal price is $7,700, which amounts to about 140 plus minus 140,000 Rand. But we have a special offer for you. The special offer is that if you register for the upcoming November intake, starting on the 15th of November. Using the code BHG28, we will give you a 5,000 Rand discount on your registration fee. Very important to note, this offer ends on the 5th of October. And you can connect with us at info@bhgroup.africa, and our website address is there as well. The link to register will also be in the email that you will see at the end or receive once we are done here. Okay, all right. I see that there's some questions around the ICF accreditation. Yes, Hudson, I believe Yenor has answered you there. It absolutely contributes to that. So one of the tools that Gallup Certified Coaches use and has access to, and is one of our favorite tools, is called the Team Strengths Grid. The Team Strengths Grid provides a manager and a team with the story of what's going on in terms of their strengths and potential within the team. So with this team, you can see that they are very strong executing, so they can get things done. They're also strong in relationship building. All right, so they build great relationships. Strategic thinking is a bit lower, and then we've got influencing, which you can see this team doesn't have a lot of influencing themes that they can draw on. It may not surprise you that this is an HR team. So you can see that they build the relationship, they get things done, and wow, did we have a fantastic session with the HR team, delving into the Team Strengths Grid, what that means, helping them to think more strategically and become more influential. And in the certification course, you will learn how to apply just this Team Strengths Grid, which is only one of the 30 tools that is available to you. Okay. Right. Yes, Terry, it looks like you've got a question for us.
I think
Okay.
his hand up
I
was
just
from
didn't put down my hand. I have to.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Terry. Right. Yes, Yendo.
Yeah, it's just to keep in mind. So many of our alumni, people always say, right, so who is the coaching certification applicable for? Well, we have people that work internally to corporations, so internal coaches. We have independent external coaches who often tell us the certification is like a business in a box, which is great. We have HR who want to use coaching as an approach around leadership. And then we increasingly have a lot of interest in leaders and managers wanting to become certified coaches, really to use a workplace coaching approach to how to lead or manage. And so typically those would be the types of groups of people that we draw from: internal coaches, HR, leaders and managers, and then of course those that want to start and run their coaching practice. Often the consultants that we work with, our alumni panel would combine strengths to their interest maybe around HR consulting or leadership development or organizational development and so on. So there's quite a stretch and connection around what you can use strengths in a normal sort of HR type of consultancy.
And sounded like, it looks like you had a question.
Sorry, if you're referring to me, no, it's not.
Okay. People going off mute is usually, it gives us a sign that they may have something to say.
Margriet, we must say to Anne, she should have a question by now, right?
Yes. Okay. Hudson asked a very relevant question. The intake is 15 to 18 of November. The registration closes on the 15th of October. And the reason for that is that it takes quite a while. It takes about a week or two to print your materials and then to ship it off to you to receive it in time for the start of your course.
Guys, just keep in mind that if you are paying for yourself, this is a large amount of money, and we do recognize that. So if you're non-corporate, you are paying for yourself for your own personal capacity. We do offer a payment plan approach between 4 and 6 months, depending on whether you're nice to us or not, but we can help you to manage the cash flow impact. For those organizations that are looking to become strength-based and do quite a few coaches, we do offer the flexibility to run an in-house course, which we need a minimum of 5. What's quite cool about that, if you go that route, is that we can customize the program to you and make it bespoke, which we're not able to do in obviously a public program. For those that are worried about going on a public program, it is probably one of the that you are going to ever come across. If you can imagine, in our last program, we have people from 6 or 7 different countries across the Africa piece of different levels of maturity and experience and wisdom, but all had great stories and things to contribute. And the richness of that learning over and above everything you've heard today is really the sort of the horsepower and the capacity that our learners and participants bring. The reality of this is that this is a program that attracts serious-minded people. So in actual fact, they push and shove us to put more stuff in, as opposed to taking stuff away or going off their video and so on. So we have a lot of arm wrestling and participation. In actual fact, there are times we have to tell people to keep quiet, which is a nice problem to have on Zoom.
Excellent. Yes, Miranda.
Oh, hello. Just as I was composing my question, so on the requirement, Margriet, you were talking about there must be 6 coaching submissions. Who designates what kind of level that person being coached should be? Is there a requirement, sort of 3 executive level, 3 board? What, could I coach my child? Could I, what are the limitations there and the requirements? Thank you.
Thank you, Rana. That's a great question. Gallup does not put any limitations on it for you. What we just recommend is that you coach people who like you so that they will give you a good score.
The serious point about the coaching evaluation.
I've got to find someone who likes me first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miranda, exactly. So the reassurance I can give you, Miranda, is the fact that in the program you coach a fellow participant, so that could be your first person, and usually that goes well. So you only need to find 5 more victims. I mean, people that are willing to volunteer. Obviously, if you pick 6 people under the age of 10, it might be a bit, it might stand out. Look, the reality is the exam and the coaching evaluations are ICF requirements, and they're really hurdles to get through as quickly as possible. All we would recommend is be sensible.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Right, we are on the dot, 1/4 past. I'm just going to share the last screen with you. Just a shot of inspiration. So coach me and I will learn, Destin Spark says. Challenge me and I will grow. And lastly, believe in me and I will win. And I'd like to add there, by using my Clifton Strengths themes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate the time that you took to listen to and learn more about the Clifton Strengths as well as the certification. We're going to end the session here. You are welcome to hang around. If you have any other questions, we'd be very happy to spend some more time with you to answer them and give some clarity. Thank you very much for joining.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to having you on the next program.